I think we can agree that it's much easier to make a fully isometric game for Android than a full 3D one, alright? Maybe Android still isn't completely ready for some beautiful 3D games, both when it comes to controls and graphics, but don't be fooled, my friend. Anyway, there are amazing isometric games out there that I'm sure will get you completely hooked. So in this list, we're going to talk about the best isometric games on the Play Store, so drop a like and come with me. Let's start this list with a game that is almost a Souls-like and has a really strong story. Let's talk about No Place for Bravery. The game follows Thorn, a tormented former warrior, on his dark and violent journey through the devastated world of Dur as he searches for his missing daughter. The mature narrative is the heart of the game, exploring deep themes like fatherhood, sacrifice, and the consequences of moral choices. The gameplay is intense and challenging, featuring fast-paced, Souls-like combat that demands precise parries and careful stamina management. All of this is presented through beautiful and highly detailed pixel art, creating an oppressive yet visually stunning atmosphere. In short, No Place for Bravery delivers an intense experience that perfectly blends challenging Souls-like combat with a deep and emotional story. An enhanced version of BioWare's classic 2002 RPG set in the Dungeons & Dragons universe. If you love RPGs, this might be one of the best. Let's talk about Neverwinter Nights. It takes everything from the original 2002, released a massive main campaign and its expansions, and successfully brings it all to your phone. The visuals are polished with improved lighting and shine. It's a true RPG feast, offering hundreds of hours of gameplay, expert level character customization, and the ability to play online with friends on PC, tablet, or even console. In short, Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition on Android is a robust and complete way to relive a classic D&D RPG in its original form, with visual improvements and an interface adapted for smooth gameplay on smartphones and tablets. I never seriously thought Metal Slug would become an isometric game, let alone that I'd be able to play it on my phone. Let's talk about Metal Slug Awakening. The premise is to lead a squad of up to 3 iconic heroes like Marco Rossi and Eri Kasamoto, but this time in a tactical RPG version. Move your characters and perform actions, attacking using abilities within each turn, alternating with General Morden's rebel army. Positioning is crucial for success. You must use the map's cover to reduce damage and position your characters to maximize combos and attack range. In short, Metal Slug Tactics is an unusual and successful fusion, turning the legendary shooter into a strategic, challenging experience with a high replay value thanks to its roguelike elements. This might be one of the lesser known games on our list, mainly because it's tough to pinpoint, but let's talk about Lovecraft Untold Stories. Imagine living a peaceful life and suddenly the world flips upside down with the arrival of cosmic entities that would make anyone question their sanity. That's the story, and now it's up to you to pick a character and jump into the fight. Your mission? Stop the madness before Earth becomes a feast for Great Cthulhu and his friends. You're not an invincible superhero, but one of the 5 playable characters who are the only ones capable of seeing the truth behind the veil of reality. Every time you enter a stage, the map, enemy locations, and items are completely new. No run is ever the same, guaranteeing hours of replay. Death here truly means the end, and that's what makes the game so interesting. This is a very old game. We're talking about a 2012 release, but it only received its mobile port in 2024. Let's talk about Hyper Light Drifter. You control the Drifter, a mysterious character who has access to advanced, long-forgotten technology, but who is also gravely ill. He's searching for a cure for his condition and must disable or destroy a malignant force known as the Cell, or corruption, an abominable source of power that has corrupted the world and its inhabitants. The combat is extremely fast and fluid, demanding precision. You wield an energy sword for melee attacks and use long-range weapons as well. The world is vast, divided into 4 main regions, each with its own challenges and powerful bosses known as Titans. In short, Hyper Light Drifter is an intense and unique experience that captivates with its visual beauty, challenges you with its gameplay, and intrigues you with its mysterious narrative. The moment you jump into this game, you can almost smell Resident Evil. Let's talk about a very underrated game called Heaven Dust. Heaven Dust is a game that truly appeals to survival horror fans, as it's a clear love letter to the classic 90s titles, especially the first Resident Evil. You wake up as Steve inside a mysterious mansion that is actually a secret research facility infested with zombies and deadly traps. Like any old school survival horror, ammo is scarce and so are healing items. You constantly have to decide whether it's worth wasting bullets on a slow zombie or if it's better to dodge it and save resources for tougher encounters. This game can only be found on TapTap, and I'm not sure why, but the Android version feels a bit unfinished or incomplete. Even so, it's still a great isometric game and well worth playing. really love this game's visuals. For me, pixel art and an isometric perspective work perfectly together. Let's talk about Fury Pixel Survival Z. This is probably the most well-known game on our list with over 1 million downloads. You play as a survivor who wakes up in a world devastated by the Z virus, which has turned most of humanity into wandering zombies. Your main mission is to find your missing wife and daughter in the middle of the chaos. It's not just about killing zombies, you constantly need to manage your hunger and thirst. You must search the map for supplies like food, water and wood, because if these stats hit 0, you can die. There's a strong RPG element where you can level up, learn multiple skills, and unlock and upgrade a wide range of weapons, armor, and even mechs. The game may look simple at first, but even setting the story aside, it still manages to be a solid and enjoyable experience. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of this game. It feels a bit too old school for me, but I've heard a lot of people speak very highly of it. Let's talk about Exiled Kingdoms. The game offers a free version that includes a good portion of the early content, the first area and up to level 10, with a one-time payment to unlock the full game. You start as a regular adventurer who receives an inheritance letter which sends you on a journey to the city of Varsilia to claim your legacy. This journey pulls you into a conspiracy that threatens the peace of the Exiled Kingdoms. The game really shines with its extensive narrative featuring hundreds of quests and an impressive amount of lore to discover. The focus is on immersion and freedom of choice. You can choose between 4 main classes and customize your attributes, abilities and skills through deep skill trees, allowing for many different builds. It's a very complete RPG. Let's talk now about a game that is purely adventure focused with a very well crafted story. Let's talk about El Hijo, a Wild West tale.
What is going on here? Okay, I don't understand. It's not letting me crouch.
After his farm is destroyed, El Hijo's mother decides to leave him in a remote and supposedly safe monastery to protect him, while she sets off to rebuild their lives. However, the monastery turns out to be a cold and strict place. El Hijo realizes he needs to escape and venture into the Wild West, crossing dangerous landscapes and towns controlled by gangsters, all in an effort to find his mother again. As a stealth-based game, combat is not an option. The key to El Hijo's survival is not being seen. You must use the environment to hide from enemies, which include monks, gangsters, and henchmen. The boy has clever tools to help him, like a slingshot and even a bird companion. In short, El Hijo, a Wild West tale, is a smart and emotional stealth journey that uses the innocent perspective of a child to tell a touching story about family love and freedom. Let's talk now about the Diablo-style mobile game, even before Diablo Mobile was a thing. Do you remember this one? Let's talk about Dungeon Hunter 5. The main story revolves around the need to restore order to a world left in ruins. You play as a bounty hunter who must fight hordes of monsters, demons, and bandits to become a hero of Valentia. The story isn't the main focus here, it mostly serves as a background since the game is far more online focused than narrative driven. It's a game that requires a lot of mission repetition, grinding to collect materials, gold, and experience needed to upgrade your large arsenal of weapons and armor. I believe the game lost some of its appeal over time, especially because it's an older pay-to-win title, but mainly if you want to play PvP. The PvE content alone is more than enough to complete and enjoy the game. I love this game so much, it took me around 30 hours to defeat the final boss and I almost gave up, but I still always recommend it. Let's talk about Death's Door. Play as a small and adorable Reaper Crow who works for an afterlife bureaucracy known as the Bureau of Doors. Your job is simple: collect the souls that have reached their expiration date. To recover a stolen soul and return to your duties, you must travel to a realm untouched by death and defeat 3 colossal tyrants, giant souls that have lived far beyond their time. The combat is fast, precise, and extremely satisfying. You wield a primary sword for melee combat and combine it with ranged attacks like arrows and magic, which you unlock throughout the game, including fireballs and bombs. Dodging is essential to avoid enemy attacks. There are also light RPG elements allowing you to upgrade your crow's stats, which makes the entire experience even better. This is the first survival game on our list and it's so different that a lot of people don't even realize it. Let's talk about CRASHLANDS 2. CRASHLANDS 2 is the sequel to the cult classic CRASHLANDS, bringing back the space trucker Flux Dabes in a new adventure full of humor, crazy creatures, and deep gameplay mechanics. There isn't a big difference in terms of story or narrative compared to the first game, so I honestly recommend starting with the second one since it's already much better overall. You return to the alien planet Wonope after years away, trying to take some time off but of course an accident throws you into an unknown and dangerous region. From there, the goal is to survive, explore, craft, and uncover the mysteries of that world. The biggest difference in CRASHLANDS 2 is how unfamiliar everything feels. For example, there are no trees, you don't know what you can eat, and you need to discover everything from scratch. One of the best roguelikes in the world, and I'm honestly not exaggerating at all when I say that. Let's talk about the legendary Children of Morta. instead of playing as a single chosen character, you play as the entire Bergson family, which consists of 6 different characters, each with their own unique abilities. The mountain is invaded by an evil force known as the Corruption, which twists creatures and environments into violent nightmares. The Bergson family, with their unique powers and combat skills, must stand together to fight the Corruption, save the mountain, and uncover the origin of this plague. The game is a top-down hack and slash ARPG. You dive into procedurally generated dungeons, face hordes of monsters and bosses, collect loot, and hunt for powerful artifacts. The combat is fast-paced and satisfying, but don't be mistaken, the game also delivers a strong story and a beautiful portrayal of family bonds, showing the Bergsons struggling together to survive this threat. One of the games I'm currently finishing, and I'm really loving it. The characters are great and the story is honestly close to perfect. Let's talk about BLOOMTOWN, a different story. You play as Emily, a girl who visits BLOOMTOWN, a small, seemingly peaceful American town in the 1960s. But children start disappearing, strange behavior begins to surface, and you discover the existence of a dark parallel world fueled by fears, trauma, and repressed emotions. To the joy of many, it's a turn-based RPG, but with its own unique twists and mechanics. The game blends colorful, cozy pixel art with extremely heavy themes. This contrast is one of its strongest points. The prettier the scenery looks, the more disturbing what it hides becomes. On top of that, the game offers many additional systems and features, and that's where I think the real gold of the game truly lies. Let's finish with one of those super underrated games, but to be honest, I absolutely loved it and got completely hooked on its gameplay. Let's talk about BLOODFOREST. It's known for being a relatively simple title focused on direct combat, item collection, loot, and grinding repeating missions to grow stronger. Like any good ARPG, the hunt for better gear is constant. You collect armor, weapons, and items that drop from enemies as loot. The game features 26 vibrant pixel art maps ranging from sinister forests to treacherous underground dungeons, and lets you face 16 challenging bosses. I didn't fully understand the story, to be honest, and I don't think the developer was too concerned about it either, but honestly, the gameplay more than makes up for it. And that's it for the list. If you enjoy isometric games, any of these can easily keep you hooked for hours. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments which one you're playing or which one I should bring next.